The Pakistan Cricket Board has written a letter to the BCCI addressed to its Secretary Anurag Thakur and has been forwarded to President Jagmohan Dalmia. The PCB has asked the BCCI to keep sports and politics apart and have requested them to honor the agreement that they have had with their Pakistani counterparts. The PCB has asked the BCCI to let them know the dates of series in December, whether the series will go ahead. The Indian board is yet to respond. Consulting editor cricket Boria Majumdar joins me on the broadcast with the latest on this big breaking story. Boria, take us through details of the PCB letter. Will the series go on in December is the second part. We'll talk about that in greater detail. But what is it that the PCB expects of the BCCI?
Three things, Gaurav. One, letter that addressed to Anurag Thakur, which has been forwarded to President Jagmohan Dalmia with a covering note that one, keep politics and sports separate. Please don't mix the two and say that the series is in jeopardy. Two, that the BCCI and the PCB are locked in an agreement as per the ICC's FTP, which is the Future Tours program, which was detailed during the ICC revamp under N. Srinivasan, whereby these two boards have agreed to play a certain number of series between the 8 years 2015 to 2023, and they have gone on to ask that please let us know what the plan is for the series in December. It also states that the broadcast dispute involving a particular television channel, which the BCCI had earlier raised in the consultation with the PCB, that will not stand in the way because the PCB will resolve that. So basically the PCB trying to suggest that we will clear the debt from our part, but on your part you need to come out and honor your agreement and play cricket with us, and please try and keep politics and sports separate.
Boria, did the BCCI commit to a series in December? Is playing in December mandatory, or is the commitment of playing 8 series till the year 2023?
Gaurav, the BCCI President and Secretary have not committed. Let's be very clear on that. When Shahryar Khan visited Calcutta, the President was very clear this is a political decision. The Home Ministry and the government will be involved. The Secretary has been extremely vocal that as long as terror continues, there is no possibility of any cricket whatsoever.
Yes.
He said that in Sri Lanka as well. In the ICC FTP, which was done during the ICC's revamp, a certain number of series was penciled in, which was part of the revamp. So theoretically, the ICC's FTP contains 8 series between India and Pakistan. But the current dispensation never for once committed to any series in December.
Yes.
They said talks would be continuing, but it was a political decision. I can assure you that at this point in time, the BCCI is not even entertaining any thoughts of a series as long as there is terror going on from the side of the border.
Boria Majumdar, that's a big point you're making there on the broadcast. Your sources in the BCCI are telling you that cricket and terror cannot go on together, irrespective of how much money BCCI may be able to make out of this cricket series, irrespective whether Pakistan can resolve the issue of broadcast rights, whether they play in Pakistan or they play in a third country. India stands united to say we will not play cricket with Pakistan as long as there are terrorists who come with AK-47s and kill innocent Indians. That's the point. We are speaking in one voice as a country, Boria.
You know, the Secretary has been extremely vocal about this. He's tweeted, he's put out in the public domain. The President is extremely clear that they will not even move on this series unless there is consensus. And the consensus can only come if there is peace across the border, because only then will they approach the Home Ministry, only then will they approach the External Affairs Ministry, only then will they seek clearance from the government. Other details about where the series would be, what the dates would be, which country, which broadcast partner are all secondary. First and foremost, is there peace across the border? Should cricket or should sport go on? The BCCI is extremely concerned that unless that happens, there is no dialogue whatsoever with Pakistan on this. Since the visit of Shahryar Khan, there has been no progress on the series whatsoever, and all we get from the BCCI is silence, which is basically meaning unless the political tensions are resolved, we are not going to talk about the series.
Boria, keep tracking that big story. I will come back to you for more. The BCCI is silent. They haven't responded to the PCB. But one thing appears clear, there will be no cricket with Pakistan as long as Pakistan-sponsored terror continues in India and Pakistan attacks Indian interests in Afghanistan.